Yo, hello and welcome back to another update video of Super Auto Pets. Excuse my warning voice again. It's the next morning and I woke up to the news that some new patch notes for this possible upcoming update are out. As you can see already, they added a tiger back in. Let's just quickly do an updateception where we correct the first update video about this huge patch. So if you didn't catch that video, definitely check that out first. You might need a few minutes for that though, because this is quite a long list, as you can see. So not everything I talked about in that video is correct anymore. So for example, as I said, they added the tiger back in. The friend ahead repeats their ability in battle as if they were at level 1, 2, 3. Honestly, apart now from the new Parrot, honestly, I really like this change for the tiger, because before it was kind of busted and the tiger just needed to be level 1 to be extremely viable and helpful, and now you probably need to level up the tiger. Now you have a motivation to actually level it up, and I really like that. This is a really nice balance change to the tiger, if we now ignore the change to the Parrot we talked about in the last video. So now the problem is that the Parrot and the tiger are now fighting for the same slot, right? But the Parrot has also gotten a new change, so we will get that in a second. Let me just check out the next one. This is the Boar. They changed it to an 8/6 and ability to +3/+3. Yes, the Boar, I tried it out I think once or twice. The Boar felt kind of bad because it had little HP before. It had 8/2 I think, and it buffed himself a +2/+2 before it attacked. I think now it's properly balanced for a tier 6 animal. The Boar is now probably playable. It has a real downside by design because it's a workaround unit which comes in at turn 11, and this is really bad by itself, but the stats are kind of making up for it. So I think there's an argument to be made to pick Boar if you see one. Maybe. Feels like A tier. Kinda does give up that taste of a nice A tier unit. Could be. Maybe high B tier. Something around that. So they changed the TRex ability to give +2/+1. I don't get that change because I think that TRex ability of +1/+1 before in the last video was quite good. Before that, the T-Rex buff for +2/+2, but not himself. So each turn you would get for 3 gold a +8/+8 buff, right? With the change proposed before, in my last video, the T-Rex gained a buff for 3 gold +5/+5, because now it also could target itself. And now the T-Rex buffs himself for 3 gold +10/+5, which is almost the same again as before. So the T-Rex is definitely still amazingly strong, and I think T-Rex is at least A tier in my eyes with that buff, because it still will target itself, and having 2 T-Rexes on the board is extremely powerful. Change Fly to 5/5 and ability to trigger 3 times, and Zombie Fly to 5/5. Well, the Fly was a 2/2 before, and the last change, they changed the Fly token to 4/4 and to the ability to trigger 3 times per battle. And it feels like they felt like they nerfed the Fly into the abyss, and maybe they are right with that. I think actually now the Fly is really powerful. I think that 5/5 body on the Fly is definitely nothing to ignore, and the Zombie Flyers are also a 5/5, and you can actually easily trigger the Fly 3 times. So that Fly in turn will have a 20/20 and 3 bodies to trigger a turkey, for example. I feel like the Fly is now extremely good, isn't it? Maybe spawner strategies are back on the menu just because of this change, because they changed the turkey a bit, or nerfed the turkey a bit. And by the way, one guy pointed out they changed the turkey to 3/7, so the turkey won't die to snake or a simple dolphin or something like that. This is, by the way, quite smart thinking there. That helps the turkey quite a lot in sustainability, but the turkey will now buff a bit less. Now with the tiger back in, you can actually run, fly, tiger, turkey again, and you're pretty happy about that, aren't you? It's not as busted anymore because you can only trigger the fly 3 times, but the turkey is giving buffs to all of these strong flies, so I think that's really good. I think this is a nice strategy to play, actually. And yeah, as I said, they changed the Parrot again. They now changed the Parrot to tier 4, and the Parrot is now a 5-3. Holy shit. The Parrot now being available so early is quite crazy. Let me just quickly see if we have a unit the Parrot can work with. Honestly, I could be missing something, but I think that's still a real problem for the Parrot, because the only real animal I see is the monkey. Really interesting. We'll have to see. I'm really curious about the Parrot. This is probably the hardest thing to judge right now. You really have to play this a few times to actually see how strong it is. But I like how early the Parrot is now available. It feels really interesting. They changed the monkey to tier 5. And to give it +3/+3, this is probably a nerf to the monkey, because it's now available way later. It was tier 4 before, but it only gave +2/+2, so quite a nerf and a buff fused in together, and that buff of +3/+3 is pretty good. I still think you would pick monkey, actually, but probably for not as long as before, because you are getting it later, and the monkey has a extremely weak body. If you would actually compare to the T-Rex, I mean, the T-Rex has an additional downside of you having to pay 3 gold, right? But then the T-Rex is buffing for +10/+5, while the monkey is only 2 turns earlier available, and it gives only +3/+3 without having to pay 3 gold. So I would actually guess the T-Rex is way better than the monkey still, although you have to pay 3 gold for the T-Rex ability. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is kind of interesting and weird, especially. I don't know if I like this change. I think that it feels like the more I think about it, the monkey is not really playable anymore. It's available too late. Or is it? I have to guess and say it's probably more a nerf than a buff, so maybe B tier. Okay, so next one, RIP cycling strats, I guess. They changed the dog to tier 3 and the stat line to 2-2. Yeah, in the last video they kept the dog in tier 2 and nerfed its stat line to 1-1, which actually didn't make a change, because cycling was still definitely on the menu. Now the dog in tier 3, I don't think that cycling is still on the menu. I mean, the one thing about tier 3 is like you can get it in turn 3 if you combine 3 tier 1 units, right? So if you are actually playing like fish and you can combine 3 fishes in turn 3, you can actually get a dog as early. So if you actually do, yeah, sure, you are playing cycling strats. This is kind of funny because now the cycling strat is not as reliable to get as before, but if you are getting it, you are actually playing it, right? If you're getting it in turn 3, it's still S tier. If you're getting it in turn 5, it's probably, yeah, D tier. It's probably trash because the dog is no unit which you actually want to play with spawner because the ability is so bad. Maybe the more I think about it, they probably, or maybe they should nerf, or they should change the dog to, if they actually wanted to nerf cycling strat, which I'm not actually sure about. I don't know if they actually want to do that, but if they actually want to do that, and to have the dog only be viable for spawner strategies, they actually need to buff the dog regarding its effect, because if you are playing spawner that early, the dog is not good enough actually to actually play it. Because if you play sheep, if you play spider, all of these are not really as good. Maybe the spider is now kind of good. I don't know. I actually don't think so. But all these spawning units are not really good. So the one unit which actually pops off with that needs to be kind of good. And you could actually change the dog to tier 3 as it is right now in this in these update notes. And to have the dog buffing himself for +1/+1 or +2/+1 or something like that, crazy powerful, but only in battle. You know, so with that you would encourage the players to actually play spawner strategies while directly nerfing the cycling strat. The dog to tier 3 is now unplayable in my eyes. So rip cycling strat. Change rabbit to tier 2. This is now actually, this is insanely powerful, isn't it? So the rabbit is a 3-2 whenever you're buying targeted shop food. So on cans it won't work. The rabbit provides health, and dude, this is really strong, isn't it? Isn't this really, really strong now? Are we entering a food meta? I actually think we are. I think the rabbit could be the backbone of it. Really interesting. I really have to force that in the test environment to see. But I think actually the rabbit feels like maybe tier A or tier S unit, because one tier higher is such a big change. Amazing. Okay. Maybe we are entering food meta. Next. They changed the horse back to 1-1 and the ability to give +2 attack until the end of battle. Now we're fucking talking. Now the horse is actually kinda good. Because if you now pick horse first, then pick a cricket, and then pick a fish for example, in the first turn, the horse will buff the cricket to a 3-2, the fish to a 4-3, and when you are in battle, that zombie cricket is also a 3-1. This is really strong. Is the horse now too strong? Because the +2 attack are having such a huge impact. I really... And yeah, they rendered my horse video out of date, like in such a quick time. Amazing. We don't know how the update will actually look like. This is also subject to change, as I said last time. They changed the pick to 3-2. I think this is a nice change. Now the pick is actually playable. They changed they changed the Dodo ability to 50%, 100%, 150%. Yes, the Dodo before in the last video was pretty much unplayable. Now you can actually again think about playing Dodo again. With the Dodo changed to 2-3 as well. Yeah, I think the Dodo is back on the menu, but it's actually not really strong anymore. Maybe B tier? I don't know. Change the red to 3-1. Yeah, I do like it. I think the red as a 1-1 was not good. And now the red has actually fighting power. I do like it. And I also do like that it only has 1 HP because it's designed to die with this change. I think it's a solid tier 2 actually. Change turtle to 1-2. Beautiful change. Now the turtle actually will die in no time. Having melon armor that early in the game was really, really nice, and I really would hated it if they changed that, and they fortunately didn't, because it was really strong, or it is really strong. So nerfing the stats to almost having no impact to the game at all is, I think, a good change, because I really love to still have melon available that early in the game. I really like this. Changed cow ability to upgrade when leveling and provide better milk. Interesting, they now try to encourage players to actually level up cow, which is, I think, a nice way to go with this. I don't hate it. The milks will give +2, +4 on level 2 and +3, +6 on level 3, and these are extremely powerful if you actually level up cow. Now the cow will fight, dude. How often did you have a cow which actually fought? I really like this change. But I'm afraid that the cow is now extremely good again, because the initial nerf from the milk from +2, +2 to +1, +2 was actually pretty good, and I think then it was actually pretty balanced. Before it was kind of broken. And now the milk being even stronger in theory, if you can actually level up the cow, could bring back the cow to S tier, but I'm not too sure about that. They reverted chicken. So the initial chicken buffed the shop animals for +1/+1 whenever you buy a tier 1 unit. Then they changed the chicken in my last video to the buff of +1/+2, I think. And now they changed it back. So I think they understood that chicken was already pretty good. And yeah, they changed it back so the chicken is not broken probably, but still pretty good. I think this is a good choice. And they reverted fish, which I actually thought they wouldn't do, because I think the change to the fish in the last video was pretty fair. They changed it so the fish gave on level up +1 health to all friends. Honestly, I think that nerf was pretty warranted. And now they reverted it back to +1/+1 to all friends. The fish is now, together with the horse, probably the ones you take in the early game, right? So yeah, that's about it, I think. Yes, let me know what you think, and how high is the probability that they will again change something before they actually roll out the update? I think the probability is around 99 to 100%, but I really have fun talking about that and theory crafting. So let me know in the comments below what you think of these changes. I think overall I kinda like it, but now it's so convoluted and it feels like no single unit is as it was once before, and the meta will be so different, and it's really hard to still keep an overview of that. But I actually think we will have a food meta soon. Okay, I'm down. I can't wait for that. So thank you so much for watching and enjoy my end card. Bye. As always, if you like this video, never tell me or your friends, and also please never share this around. Also, please make sure to not like this video. If you want to see more content like this, definitely don't subscribe to my channel and never check out this video displayed over here. See you in the next video. I'm out.